Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yusril. Welcome to World of Warships. Welcome to twitch.tv/Yusril. Assuming that Premiere Elements does not have a fit with this recording as it did with the last one, welcome to youtube.com/Yusril if you're watching this after the event. World of Warships, the North American server. It is far too late. It is 10 to 1 in the morning on the 23rd of January as far as I am concerned. If you are in the east coast of the United States, it is approximately 10 to 8 in the evening. If you are in California, then I've interrupted your dinner because it's still only around about 10 to 4, if I've done my sums right. Everyone else can do their own maths. I really can't be bothered to work through 20-something time zones. I'm on the North American server because, hey, it is a bit late for the European players and we've still got 17,000 people. It is a Sunday evening. Yes, I'm playing on the weekend. Who gives a shit? So, let's go to battle. Let's pull out Kamikaze, have myself a few games, a bit of fun. It's a late night stream. I'm probably not going to be doing this one for any instructive or high quality gameplay. I'm really just here to murder some newbies, and by the look of it, quite a lot of people have had the same idea. We have got 3 Kamikazes, a Kamikaze R, a Minikaze, and far too many carriers. Those battleships must be feeling very, very lonely right about now. So must that single cruiser on our team. Oh wow, late night matchmaking, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fun thing indeed. Right, and oh, it's Epicenter on Big Race. Okay, that's kind of an interesting combo. Never had that one before. Right. Well, we're up on the right flank, so the obvious thing to do is just try to punch forwards, get round the side, and then in traditional destroy fashion, make it all up as we go along from there. Forwards, forwards, warships forwards, tanks forwards. I mean, I dare say someone's got a tank. I mean, even by Japanese standards, tank guns are pretty puny in this game. Caliber envy is a horrible thing. If you've got some World of Tanks players in your stream, ladies and gentlemen, come along, introduce them to the battleships. I'll stick my invite code in the YouTube's comments. It's only good for the European servers, of course. Excuse me, I'm running myself hoarse out of air. But if you've got some European friends who are still having that little bit of caliber envy, come along and introduce them to the battleships. Once you've tasted 403mm, you'll never go back. Unless you discover destroyers, in which case welcome to 533mm or even 610mm if you absolutely have to do it properly. First victim of the day is this Emerald, who I don't think... Oh yes, he has turned starboard, thank you so very much. So we will dump once. We'll also angle slightly inside. Fire 1 and 2 down the gap, and then we're gonna run because hostile aircraft have just shown up. That's going to be, yeah, it's a spotter plane, and unless I want to get savaged by the bear, I need to keep that island between me and it. So let's just run away, stay away from that Kuma. First 2 torpedoes have gone straight into the island. Second 2 have missed astern. 4, 5 and 6 have done likewise, but if nothing else, it woke him up. Now, that Kuma has also legged it, so we've pretty much contained the initial attempt to push onto this flank. So that now means I am in a position that I can sidle north, maybe try to get round. I have to be a little bit careful, of course, because this is only a 6-point captain, so I don't have concealment exit, which means that the full unholy glory of the Kamikaze, your tier 5 lord and saviour, never forget this, cannot be unleashed. I have a 6km detection rather than a 5.4. Not that this is going to stop me introducing a great many people to the Type 92 torpedo, but it does make it a bit trickier, particularly since I only have 100 meters now, on that Emerald, and now I don't have any range at all, but thankfully someone has been clobbering it with gunfire. So, he's pulled forwards, he's sidled out of range. No, he's still backing up, so you know what? We are going to be a little bit naughty. We'll just smoke up. And then, you know what they say about Japanese guns? Well, it's not entirely true. Okay, maybe it is slightly true. Ah, never mind, he's dead. Fine, round the back we go. Let's go meet some battleship. Something else was... Oh yeah, that was just lingering detection from the... No, it wasn't. Something else is around here. Ah, there we go, we're clear. Detection's back down to 6 now that the guns have worn off, but unfortunately, because I popped out of the smoke a bit too early, that Kongo and those two Kaisers, yeah, they kinda know I'm here. If they set their last known position mini-markers, if they were paying attention. Which, knowing my luck, they probably were. Mind you, that Kaiser's got his guns over to the right. So is Kongo. In fact, Kaiser number 2 is looking right the way over to the south. So you know what? Let's just say hello, cuties. 7 kilometers. Just wind the range down a bit further. And then dump, dump, and dump. Shotgun the spread a little. And then turn away. We're going to slam into the map border on this, but can't be helped. Hard over. Just hold the range as best we can. I have no idea if this is going to work. We have got no room to run if this goes wrong. But so far, that Kaiser is blissfully oblivious. That said, I think at least some of those torpedoes are going to miss astern. He's going to eat... Certainly 2, maybe 3. We might get 4. 1, 2, 3. He's eaten 3. We only got 1 flood, however. He'll control that with damage control pretty much immediately. Not that it really helps him because, well, next salvo is ready to go, courtesy of the reload. But there's another salvo of torpedoes. Now there's our range. Fine. My turn again. Again, shotgun the spread just a little, just in case he does maneuver. We're having to run away, and we are actually badly off the objective at this point. So, torpedoes are running. Kaiser, again, nicely focused. He is turning just a little, but I don't think he's turning enough to beat the spread. And in fact, no, he isn't. The only thing that's going to save him now is if those torpedoes don't have the range. And yes, it's a dicey shot. However, I don't think he's going to dodge this lot. And that's the end of him. Right, first Kaiser gone. Notice served to the Kongo, who just saw his mate blow up right in front of him. And there we are. Kongo has kicked in her rudder. I have to be a little careful here, or I am going to be the recipient of some burning love. On the other hand, let's plug in the engine boost, get some range up, because Kongo's going to have to start to turn in a second. And I need to be very careful not to run smack into the back of that T-22's detection. So this is another case where we've got to finesse the map border, the enemy ahead of us, and the very angry battleship behind. Oh, and we also have to pull back a 350-point deficit. This is going to require a bit of care and attention. Thing is, that Kongo doesn't seem to want to actually commit to a turn. So you know what? Dump 1, dump 2, dump 3, then turn stern again, and dump smoke to evade the... Oh, thank you, Kongo. That wasn't who was spotting me. Crap. Luckily, the Kamikaze R isn't looking this way either. Come on, back it up. Introduce Kamikaze to some gunfire, which may actually have been the wrong decision, because now... Oh, 1 hit into the Kongo, 2 hits into the Kongo. A few more shots into that Kamikaze. Still aware that I've got this Kongo basically coming up my backside from behind, and of course... Yeah, just look at the way those torpedo tubes are doing. I don't think he launched in my direction, but... Kinda hard to be sure. Boom, right, nailed the Kamikaze. Right, now hard over, hard forwards, because the moment that Kongo hits 2 kilometers, he is going to see me, and I am going to be right in kill range of sections. 2.1, 2.15. Now, hard over, hard over, hard over. Come on, get the tubes round. Kongo's committing to back off from the smoke. Dump 1, dump 2, dump 3. Kongo can see me, of course, because I'm out of range. Those torpedoes were very much down the last bearing. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 5. And, oh dear, now we have a Nevny. Crap. Come on, come on. Get the guns round, get the guns round. This all boils down to who is going to get the reload. And it's going to be me, I think. But, of course, Nevny being Nevny. Narrow spread this time. Yes, 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 yes. You have guns, I know, comrade. They are very impressive. I have guns as well. High caliber. We're still 300 points behind. And I'm in a gun duel with the Russian destroyer. This is not where I wanted to be at all. Okay, right. Full-on problem is he has managed to get close enough that I am not going to have a decent torpedo shot on him, and I am in fact about to die. Damn it. Should have tried really to hold to him much tighter than I actually did. The problem is, of course, with Kamikaze's launchers is that you kinda have to go broadside, and that means opening up the range and allowing the Nevny to get a bit of distance. That allowed him to frustrate any decent solution I had at the launch. I really needed that knife-fighting, point-blank solution I had in the first part of the duel, but of course I'd emptied my tubes into the Congo to kill him, so that wasn't available. It was just one of those things. Unfortunately, what's also one of those things is that we're kinda getting our asses kicked. It's all very well to have run up 121k and a high caliber, but unfortunately, I did it by completely ignoring the objectives, and the end consequence is that while we're only one ship down, we are some... yeah, let's not discuss the fact that we're now 550 points down. 500... I apologize, 563... yeah, basically the only way we're winning this one is if we can wipe out the opposition, and unfortunately the opposition are one ship up, and it's a destroyer. More to the point, it's a Kamikaze. Who doesn't have the Type 90? Oh my god! Ah! No! Well, I suppose he can rest happy in the knowledge that he did not get cited for a team kill. Oh my god. Yep, welcome to lower mid-tiers. Gentlemen, one of the nice things about them, allegedly, is that you never quite know what's going to happen. Now, has that Kamikaze reloaded? Is it going to matter? No, not really. And yes, he had. Here come the Type 6s, and there's no way Cowboy's going to accelerate fast enough to get out of the way of those. He's doomed. Very doomed. And 2 into the wreck were just insult to injury. So, all that's left now is for our comrade over here to put down the carrier, and there is one V-170 that they need to chase down. JLD's bomber, singular, desperately trying to do what he can, but, well, that's a Russian destroyer, and he's in a converted coal barge. So, yeah, not a lot he can do about that. He is going to die. It's just a question of how and when. And that's pretty much the end of that. Torpedoes in the water, and there he goes. So, 121,000 damage, but because I didn't play the objective, well, we got our asses kicked. I don't even want to look at this. What's even more depressing is that you realise that if you add on the 50% for a win, I'd have been second overall on their team after the Nevny, the Kamikaze, who was just that little bit short of a Kraken. And of course, then there's the rest of the team, the less said of whom the better, I think. Interesting that we just had another sharp drop in bandwidth. I'm not sure whether that's down to my being focused on a single relatively still image. Let's pull back, see what happens. Okay, so 1 battle down, 1 defeat, and a few more XP in for the captain. Also switch out the battery in my headset. Right, so now I'm no longer about to have my audio cut out on me at random. We're in a good position to, I think, just get into a second battle. And that's more like it. Bandwidth is back up to 5 megs per second up, so my apologies if there was any drop-off in the frame rate on the stream there. Also, please let me know if the audio levels are good. I tweaked them after the last stream. I can't actually hear the stream at the same time, or it gets incredibly distracting. So I have to kind of adjust and then rely on feedback from everyone else, which of course is part of the purpose of doing a random snap stream that's getting 3 viewers at the wrong side of 1 o'clock in the morning. Right, so what have we got this time? A Clemson, who, he's divved up. He's going to be running a SEAL Club build. Then again, he's only rated 10 for artillery. I find it hard to believe he's not using the double gun setup there. And, of course, a Fubuki. Well, she'll do her best, but the last Fubuki I met, I actually torpedoed straight off. So we'll see where that goes. 3-point domination, bit less concentrated than Epicenter, bit easier to play the objective on this one. And that's where we're going to start, just a straight run down into A. We've somehow got a carrier up at the front, the Ziho. And, well, let's see. Standard doctrine, really. Lock guns to port, because I'm expecting... Well, pull up the map for a second. Expecting to be able to run south into A, then kink out onto the flanks, let the Fuso and the Leander form a... Well, I hesitate to call it a battle line, because there's only 2 of them, and one of them's a light cruiser. But while they're in the objective, I can kick out onto the flank, sweep round, and just start spamming torpedoes in on the flank. Not got an RPF indicator yet, so we should be pretty good on that front, unless there is an RPF ship equipped and it's over on the southeastern side. But hey, we'll deal with that as we come to it. And that's the other problem. Oh dear, we have got fighters lurking over A. Anti-air is off, not that it makes a difference when you consider the Kamikaze's 2 rifle caliber machine guns that was somehow considered to be an appropriate AAA setup. Now I've got to tiptoe in very carefully here, because, oh, never mind, forget tiptoeing in, floor it, lock onto the Leander, and then realise that I've locked onto the new mechs by accident. Fine. Launch 1, launch 2, launch 3, shotgun out. Did you just look? Have you even got the range? Not sure. Anyhow. Pull out. Leander has run well clear of that, so I completely underestimated the torpedo setup, and I need to cut power a bit, and I need to jam on my own smoke, because I'm about to hit that island. Dodge the bombs, which is all to the good, I suppose. Let's get some guns going ourselves. Okay, and we have destroyer sighting. Single round out. Full ahead before we slide out of the smoke. And Leander has gone into smoke as well. Assuming none of us have lung cancer by the time this is done, I don't think he decelerated enough. In fact, I'm very sure he didn't decelerate enough. Yeah, he's shot out of his smoke. I think he might have single puff bugged as well. Not entirely sure, but it doesn't really matter because he's about to get beaten to death by high explosive. I think that was the Leander smoke fading. No, he just ran out of it instead, trying to get a shot. Fine by me. Contribute some gunfire. Can't use torpedoes, of course. Our own Leander would run right into them. And... okay, now I can use torpedoes. Launch 1, launch 2, launch 3. Just saturate that smoke cloud. And then, well, the Fuso is going to get the next run of enemy fire, but I still need to watch out for those aircraft. Okay, Leander has actually shot out of the smoke. He's backed up, which is a bit of a mistake when there is a hostile battleship right in front of you, but he's gotten away with that. Fire my own armour piercing. Yes, I'm trying for armour piercing against a British light cruiser. I am not completely insane. There's method to the madness here. Okay, that second salvo was a total waste, but it all missed completely, so that doesn't matter either. It's turning inside his own turrets here. Did just eat quite a lot of fire there, but doesn't matter. Rounds in, set him on fire. And if the Fasol doesn't get him, I will. Right, well I didn't get him. The Fasol did. And there ends the unfortunate tale of the Leander. Now, what is also highly unfortunate is that I am under the guns of this Nuremberg, who is basically smelling juicy, juicy underage boat. Run, 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 run.
Torpedoes to starboard.
And while all these aircraft are lurking around, there is all I can do about it. Okay, fix the engines. I need to reposition rapidly. And really, I need that Fasol's main guns to line up and basically blow this guy out of the water. He's broadside to a battleship. Come on, come on, citadel him. I said citadel him, not tickle him. Come on, what have you got in those things? Blanks? Oh, probably better if I don't emulate a submarine. There we go. Come on, get off this. Get away from this battleship. All those crazy aircraft are going to see me if I'm not careful. And yep, detected again. Fine, just jam on the smoke launchers. Decelerate hard. Need to finish this cap, but oh god. Bend over. Oh no, we got lucky. It did, however, push the cap back a few seconds. Luckily, he missed by a country mile with the next round.
Smoke screen set.
He's out of torpedo range. I can't even blind fire. All I can do at this point is sit in the smoke, and oh god, there's a destroyer bearing down on both our carriers. No wonder we haven't had any air support for the last few minutes. East. The only question is whether or not he can... Well, it's whether or not that cruiser... Oh, never... Oh, no. So I'm just looking at the mini-map here. I really, really need this red icon to turn black. Come on, come on, come on. You've got secondary guns on that thing. There's a cruiser backing you up. Kill him. Ram him if you have to. Just get rid of that destroyer before he gets rid of both of you. And, oh, that's where the Clemson went. He's just bagged the Ziho, which means that he's going to be trying to bring his other tubes to bear on our Independence, which has got absolutely no point defense armament. And I need to get a move on because my smoke's about to expire. And I'm going to run right into this Nuremberg's... Well, I'm dead. Torpedoes are running. 550 health left. And I've... Who put this island there? Okay, managed to dodge him, but it's not going to be enough. Those rounds are going to scatter enough that... Yeah. Ugh, God, and the Nuremberg's turned away. Let's go have a look at this Clemson, because he has just caused absolute mayhem. There we are. He's dodged the torpedo bombers. And... No, that is the single gun loadout he's got. Blimey. In that case, he's having an absolute stormer of a game, managing to get through, get both carriers. The Omaha is trying to chase him down desperately, but it may not be enough. Of course, the Independence is a tier 6 carrier. It's modified off the Cleveland hull, but he's about to run into terrain, which means that, yeah, there are the torpedoes. He's going to eat one. He's maybe going to eat a second. Yep, there we go. Okay, so he's not in too bad a position, but Clemson's turning. He's put his portside launches into play as well. The Independence at this point has got nowhere to go. He is going down. There's no way he can torpedo beat all of that. He eats one, and the flooding and gunfire does the rest. Congratulations to Let the Games Begin, who has had an absolute stormer, and I would be very surprised if he doesn't turn out to be the enemy team's man of the match. I most definitely am not the man of the match. I spent the entire game pinned down by aircraft and utterly unable to operate, and that really is how you've always contained Japanese destroyers prior to RPF, radio location as it now is. And that's always been its weakness. Kamikaze has no flak worth speaking of, and if she gets detected, she's just vulnerable to gunshot after gunshot. The fact that I sailed into islands really was just the icing on the cake, and well, we've got 2 battleships and a cruiser left. We are 450 points down. It's all over bar the screaming, basically. Unless this turns into one of those occasions where you end up looking at the enemy team and wondering just how they managed to screw it up, but I don't think we're going to get that kind of a miracle here. That said, Hanknigan might get lucky. He's got Ripple Fire out into that Königsberg. He only needs 1 hit. There we go. He's got a kill. He's pulled back 1 cruiser and a few points, but he's broadside onto that new mech, so that's 14-inch fire he's taking. He's got the Fuso and the Kongu over there, also aiming 14-inch guns at his bow. Basically, all he can really hope to do is try to get a quick kill into the Emerald, which he's not gone for. Those are his secondaries. And, well, he's got sudden inconvenient island syndrome as well. And here come the bombers, who can't really miss a static target at that range. Fuso starts putting in armor piercing as well. He's trying to get his main batteries. Looks like he's aiming for the Emerald, but kinda hard to be sure. He's trying to haul off as well. Guns are lining up, targeting the new mechs, interestingly enough. I must admit, I would have gone for a quick kill on the Emerald just to try to cut down the amount of incoming fire, but in the process of trying to haul off the island, he's left himself broadside to the König and the Fuso, and this is going to be unfortunate. He eats 1, 2, 3, 4 big hits. He's not dead yet, but we shall see. Raven, I would have to switch servers in order to do that, quite simply. Obviously, most of my ships are on the European server. We are on the North American one, but it's highly, highly tempting to go for a little bit of 127mm action. Hank goes down, and that was basically our last real hope, because the Omaha is staring down the barrels of that Kongu. He's doing the right thing, firing a high explosive into the upper superstructure, but unfortunately, well, he's in secondary range of a Kongu, and he's in a light cruiser. And of course he now has the Emerald and the New Mexico and the König and the... oh, never mind, he's dead. So who does that leave? Well, no one really. The only other person who's not dead is actually over here, Spruance 205. And yes, he's flooding. And it doesn't look like he's controlling it with damage control either, so that's completely stuffed. This round's over. Let's just see where I came in this cavalcade of idiocy. Not one of my better days, and it was on the internet. Somehow ran up 950 XP on a defeat. Bear in mind that is with bonuses, not very many, mind you. And yeah, 527 XP. As for the people who came below me, hang your heads in shame. Something you learn very quickly in a Japanese destroyer is that if aircraft decide they're going to get some underage boat action, they're going to get some underage boat action. There really is nothing you can do about it but yell for cover to make the bad planes go away. And generally with carriers, oh god, they've got a Nicholas and a Gnevny. I don't think it's the same Gnevny that we ran into 2 games ago, but we shall see. Starts the battle. We've got fault line domination. And again, pretty standard tactics here. As before, punch out onto the flank, grab a quick look at A. Maybe, well, I've got two options there. I can either push south, depending on what's down here, or I can scoot east into B and basically spam torpedoes south towards incoming battleships. Really does rather depend on how this first charge plays out. Which, of course, also depends on where the enemy aircraft go, where our aircraft go. And I need to decide now because I need to know which way to lock the guns. So we'll prep for battle on the starboard side, and then as we come down into A, we'll make the left turn across into B. That will put our weapons starboard facing and aiming due south. We'll also plug in the engine boost to try and make a fast dash for A. One of the nice things about... Yes, lewds, Raven. All carriers are lewd as far as Japanese destroyers are concerned. It's most distressing.
Good luck and fair seas.
Right. So, again, we're in that lovely slow phase of the battle where everyone just plays out their initial strategies and we watch to see really where the action is going to be. And we get our first contacts from the carriers. So, fighter down into A. Looks like the enemy battleships are pushing right, which means there's probably a light force just nosing into A, seeing what the opposition is like. We might even get an uncontested early cap, you never know. So, slip in and just push round. Take a left here. And there's the Nicholas. Jam on the brakes, too late, been spotted. Guns round. And I think I fluffed my opening salvo as well, which is not a good start. Mind you, he has gone nose in, so... And he's smoked. Okay, fine, I am not complaining, since that means I can... dodge torpedoes from the Nevny and the Nicholas. Come on, torpedo beat, save me now. Oh my word. We found all the enemy destroyers, didn't we? Fine. Come on, tubes round, match the Nevny. He's trying to turn. Launch 1, launch 2, narrow spread, launch 3. So he's going to have to commit. There we go, first blood. Devastating strike, but I need to get the bow round immediately, because that Nicholas is going to be reloading and blind firing into the smoke, so I need to back up hard. Okay, and we have a team kill. The enemy Emerald obligingly took out the Mutsuki. I ain't complaining. Alright. Okay, Nicholas aims well short. I have somehow got a bang on him. Somebody must have closed up and used hydro. Torpedoes coming back. Launch 1, launch 2, scatter shot, launch 3. Then get out of the way of his own torpedo arc. Need to relocate fast or this guy is going to cause me a world of trouble at that range. US torpedoes, well, the low tiers, they may not be great, but there are lots of them. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. The entire salvo can't miss. No, apparently the entire salvo can miss. Fine, close him. We'll finish the job with guns instead. And we'll do so by coming around on the other angle, catch him on the side. He's probably expecting me to charge through the smoke. At least that's what I'd be doing in his position. We just lost the Nevny, so, well, it could be worse. And, oh, Nicky has had his own ideas. Fine. Well, he's under the guns of a Marblehead at the moment, so if he doesn't dive for cover, he's dead. That's the only word for it. Okay, he's dumped his fish, and he's running for the island, which is going to leave him right under my guns, or it would had he not just been blown clean out of the water. Okay, not a bad start to the day. We're a bit too close to this Königsberg, so open up some distance. Lock onto Svetlana, and narrow spread for this one. In fact, hold fire completely, we've got no shot. Could add supporting gunfire, but unless he wants to get into a fight with... Yeah, there's no point unmasking. What we'll do instead is take the opportunity to slip round and lock onto this Wyoming, because that is something the Königsberg is going to have some real trouble fighting. So, run down the range. Remember that with torpedoes, it's not so much the actual distances launched, it's the distance to the point of impact. Which in this case means we should have a solution around about now. Dump 1, dump 2, dump 3, empty the tubes, slip into the island to reload. Which will then give us a margin on a close-range murder shot. I don't think anyone's got aircraft up that. Wyoming is blissfully unaware of what's coming his way. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Okay, back for a moment. Have to be a little careful here. This looks good. This looks very good. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Gimme, 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 gimme. Yes! Ooh, and another battleship learns what the rudder is for. Fortunately, I now have to remember what my smoke launcher is for, and it's for keeping Russian guns off me. Right, let's just have some random shell splashes. If nothing else, we can get his lifeboats damp. Okay, yoink.
Smoke screen set.
Yep, no one ever said we had good guns on these things, but... Oh, come on. This is just embarrassing. Right, centre mass this time. Since apparently he's decided that stopping in the middle of a battlefield is a good idea. He would be entirely wrong, but he did just survive 4 hits, courtesy of the rather anemic high explosive round. And now he's dead. Well, it's a little more damage. Okay, hard over. Right, we've got one almost dead New York, and we've also got a carrier to chase. Now, that is a Langley. Top speed of 15 knots. You saw what a Clemson did to a Langley. Now, assuming that the enemy does not have the discourtesy to die in short order, I can show you what a Kamikaze can do to a Langley, and it's almost as brutal, although, no, cancel that. I think the battleship's going to get him first. And I don't even have my can of anti-spruance around. Mind you, I think that only works at tier 9 anyway. Not that it really matters. Yeah, torpedo bombers coming in. The Langley's broadside to one of our battleships. It's all over bar the burning and the screaming, isn't it? Boom, there goes the New York. One hell of a ship, especially when you hit it repeatedly with high explosive. And on the subject of being repeatedly abused with high explosive, note he's firing armor piercing. Looks like he's going for the quick kill with citadels rather than the burning love of the high X. And of course, well, we have torpedo bombers coming in. Can I torpedo beat again? Do I even need to? Not sure. Kind of hard to tell what those planes are doing. I think, yeah, he's going for the obvious threat. He's trying to put torpedoes in Scott Huizenga before Scott Huizenga puts more AP into him. Not that it's really going to help him very much. Those were clean overpens. There are our own airdrop torpedoes apparently not in the water at all. Huh, there you go. And I'm not going to get into range before he finishes murdering the battleship. Boom, another series of opens, trying to get that launch angle. I think he's auto-dropping. But no, there they are. There are the hostile fish. Scott's going to eat a couple, but it is not going to dent... No, I tell you, he missed completely. Oh, wow. How do you mess that up? Straight-lining battleship. Okay, I shouldn't complain. It's one less thing for me to worry about. Unfortunately, Ghost Rider does not demonstrate the same level of torpedo beat at all, and that's the end of the round. That's more like it. 60,000, 6 torpedo hits. Admittedly, 5 of them were into the Wyoming, but not complaining, it's still damage. And thanks to the grab of I panned out top again. Okay, let's go again. Got time for a couple more, I think. More to the point, got the flags. I need to go back and check what my account status and level is doing on the American server. Kind of slacked off on it for obvious reasons. Okay, 2 carrier match this time. Ooh, another Kamikaze, a Mutsuki, another Gnevny. Terrific. and a few more cruisers. Not the greatest matchup I could have had. Ideally, of course, what I want is no destroyers on the enemy team and a list full of big, fat, stupid battleships, but you don't get that these days, sadly. Okay. Right, welcome to Archipelago. Crank up the throttle, gentlemen, start your engines. And in this case, start the engines and run straight down to sea, make the early grab, and then, as always, just go hunting.
General quarters.
Prep for battle, starboard side, lock the guns and the torpedo tubes over, because that's where we're going to run into the enemy first of all. Shortest possible course for sea, through the centre of the point, and plug in the engine boost. Incidentally, a little hint for those of you who don't have last position markers. It's not in the standard options menu, it's actually in here. Hold down Control to bring your mouse cursor, mouse over this little cog icon, top right of the minimap, and you'll have various minimap options that you can select. And one of them, the key thing to have here, which they don't give you, is last known position markers. That is so useful. I can't believe it's not enabled by default. But it isn't, so consider that to be your friendly hint for the day. Certainly I'm not going to teach you how to torpedo beat. You can learn that one yourselves, especially if you're in a battleship and on the other team. Alright. Coming up on sea, enemy aircraft are scouting up. Of course, the moment we head into sea and start the cap, we are going to send up a big flare saying underage boat over here. And there we go. Now the question is anybody going to be paying attention to it? Well, we've got a couple of early victims. The bear is over there. Kuma. Let's just turn in. See if we can get an easy shot. Yeah. Right, that has got to be the Kamikaze. Oh, it's the Mutsuki. Interesting that we didn't pick him up till 4 kilometers, but I ain't complaining. We can actually have a pretty solid gunfight with this guy. We're equal tier, of course. His torpedoes are heavier, but mine load faster. And speaking of loading faster, widespread, shotgun 1, 2, and 3. Now, he's probably realised my sudden telegraph there was basically advertising the fact that I had launched, but apparently no, he didn't, because he's held his course. Now, is he going to be able to torpedo it? Oh no, don't turn like that. Don't turn across the salvo.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer. Off to a great start.
Turning into a torpedo salvo is usually the right thing to do, but not when you're almost turned away from it. Still, at least he was nice about it. Thank you. It costs nothing to be polite if you're going to kill a man, as a certain Prime Minister once said, more or less. Now, no need to waste a damage control on the engine, that's going to fix itself in a second. Got the capture assist, so we're pretty good. Right. Lock weapon starboard side again, let's turn south and go hunting as per the plan. Okay. What can we go for? Who's next? Let's see, they've got... There's the Kamikaze R. Now, he's pinned down by aircraft, being kept honest by them. As I said earlier, there's absolutely nothing he can do about that. And he's got surface ships closing in, including me. Dump torpedoes, he looks like he's anticipating the Furataka coming around the corner, but I think he's got his course slightly wrong there. Right, he's dived into the smoke, so 1, 2, and 3, just shotgun the torpedoes. Then a hard right and we'll go in after him, flush the little sod out. Get rid of this guy, and we have got the stealth advantage.
Attention. Reporting to target position.
Well, as much as I want to go carrier hunting, that Kamikaze has got to go. So is that Nevny, and wow, he bagged an Iwaki Alpha. There's a unicorn you don't see too often these days. And you're right, so the Kamikaze's backed up again. Fine. Guns out. Bingo, set him on fire. That'll force him to burn his damage control, but, well, New Year's camo. Can't fire, the Furutaka's closing up. Rounds again, decelerate, there we are, that's an engine out, and the Furutaka's secondaries are going to get him, I hope. Come on. Yeah, there we go, Furutaka's secondaries did the job. Right, now we have a new problem. Just got inside the air attack. Dump smoke, cover the Furutaka while he sorts himself out. Neatly frustrate that Wyoming. Speaking of whom, I had the bearing just for a second. Launch 1, launch 2, launch 3. Those are probably gonna miss, but you never know, we might get lucky. Time to slip away again, finish this cap, and then yes, we do need to do something about those carriers, who right now are going to be a pain in the backside. I also need to get away from that Nevny, who is going to be after me hard.
Engine boost activated.
Has that Wyoming slowed down? Oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Well, I wasn't feeling particularly optimistic about that salvo, but there you go. Right.
Taking the lead.
Now let's go get rid of these damned aircraft. Furutaka's holding his own against the Nevny, but that might change very fast if... Yeah, there we go. Nevny's got its torpedoes away. We're about to lose the Furutaka. There's no way he can torpedo beat at that range. Yeah, bang. Right. Okay, now for my next problem. The carriers are over there, but they're going to be rearmed and spotted in a couple of seconds. I don't want to get into a gunfight with the Nevny, and I am far too far away from my battleship support, so we're going to lock the guns port side. Can't take on the carriers at this stage. It would mean getting close to the Omaha, and that would get me spotted and deleted in fairly short order. So what we're going to do, once I finish faffing about, is turn west, let the battleships finish the Nevny, which they should be able to do. That's Texas and the Kaiser. They should be able to make pretty short work of him. Meanwhile, we are going to lock onto this Kaiser and try to get ahead of the carriers into point A, which will then allow us hopefully to get a shot that doesn't involve getting dangerously frigging close to their aircraft's main flight lanes. On the other hand, we might be able to bypass the... Whoa, 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 whoa. Mistake, 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 mistake.
Engine boost deactivated.
And now I'm about to be punished for it. That Kaiser didn't burn as fast as I thought he was going to. On the bright side, he did eventually die. Problem is, I just gave my position away. I was a little too keen to get up and get myself some action, so I'm just hoping those carriers didn't have their last positions in place, and I don't think they did. Whew. Okay, that's what bloodlust gets you. Right, back onto the original plan. Time to slip in and hope we can just slide past the enemy aircraft. Of course, that is about to turn into a non-issue. Slam on the brakes and the smoke. Tiptoe forwards again. Just steer away, but we did pick up some attention from enemy torpedo bombers. Now this is going to be tricky, because if these guys know what they're doing, they're just going to blind drop the smoke. Never mind, never mind, never mind. We just slid out of the smoke. I thought I was going to get one more puff there, and I didn't. And now I've got a very angry Omaha that's lining up on me. Fine, so torpedo beat this first salvo. Omaha is going to find its range any moment now, but I got lucky. He missed everything, and we've got our own aircraft coming in. Whew. That was not skill on my part. That was straight up luck, saving me from my own idiocy. Okay. Torpedo bombers put a very nice kill salvo straight into the Ziho, so that's one less to think about. There goes the Langley, that's two less, but I do still have these loitering aircraft that are going to mess up any attempt to kill this Omaha, but I can maybe inch up. No, I can't. I need to get away from those fighters, who are currently not quite locked in dogfight, which means that they're free to move, and there we go, there we are, that's managed to break away. But there's not a lot left for me to do. The carriers have pretty much straight up murdered that entire group. That poor sodding Omaha is flooding out and has a busted engine, and since he's not fixed the engine, I think we can safely assume that his damage control is on cooldown, and he is about to go down. Fare thee well. Oof. That could have gone a lot worse than it actually did. Still, another Wyoming has been introduced to the need for the rudder, so that's no bad thing. And again, thanks basically to rampant abuse of an early capture point, top on base XP. Ziho really carried the game though, despite what it says on the scoreboard. If he hadn't come in and murdered those carriers, I would have been in serious, serious trouble. Okay, time I think for one more. So let's go. We'll have one last battle, take a look at where that gets us on the accounts and the campaigns, and then just roll in, and then I'll have some highlights. So then hopefully Adobe will not complain about the codec I'm using this time. Chance to be a fine thing. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I like this matchmaking. I don't like the Mayhan, of course, but at least I'm faster than him. Probably. But a Grashpe, a Molotov, some Shores, some big, fat, juicy German battleships. The only fly in the ointment is that they've got a Ranger. But he's hopefully going to be fully occupied dealing with our own carrier. So, straight down the right flank, no point heading into Torpedo Alley in the centre, and murder this time. Ugh. This is either going to be really good or an embarrassment of riches. Kamikaze, of course, most ships getting into the wrong end of a 5-7 game would be a little bit nervous, little bit worried, little bit, oh god, I'm outgunned horribly, especially if you're in a battleship running around in 12 or 14 inches and then suddenly meeting a tier 7 with 16 inches. But no, Kamikaze does not care. She is the honey badger of the mid-tiers, especially when you amp her up. I have got to get this Captain Concealment Expert. The good news is I only need 10 points to do it now. Right, let's plug in the burners and let's go.
Engine boost activated.
Of course, having rubbed my hands with glee at the matchmaking, I'm now going to run straight into the Mayhan and get completely deleted by the first salvo. That's just the way these things go. Target-rich environment, and no one seems to have our radio location. The indicator's not there. Right, let's have us some fun. Okay, so let's see, where's that Shores going? Because he will have smelt Destroyer, but he's holding his course, holding his speed, and oh, what do you know, there's the Mayhan. Right. We're gone. Nope, 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 nope. Standard drills, dump torpedoes, and turn and run. That's far too much 12-centimeter gunfire coming my way. Sorry, 5-inch, it's the US gun, not the Japanese one. Mind you, that Mayhan, you never know your luck. Yeah, actually, turns out you do know your luck. Has he just Is he about to run aground? No, but he has broken off, so at least now we know where the Mayhan is. We'll let the Atlanta deal with him. I think that seems like the best policy. Mind you, the torpedoes were only marginally in range anyway. Come on. Radar up, mate. You know your job, I know mine. That Atlanta's probably feeling really, really lonely right about now, and I don't think he's there anymore anyway, guys. I can go in and find him again if you like. Run like hell is indeed the standard policy.
Engine boost deactivated.
There's the shores. Torpedoes up. Now, here's the question. Where is the... Oh, why did I even ask? We found him. Atlanta, come on, do your stuff. Yep, there we go. The Atlanta knows her job. Problem with the 5-inch of that range, of course, is that you can barely hit anything. You need several salvos to get your aim in. But at least while they're doing that and getting pinned up on the map border, I can slip in and just try to line up some torpedo shots, probably on the graph. If I can get some easy hits in there, it'll take some of the enemy's big guns out of the equation in fairly conclusive fashion. Not that it's gonna work. The Mayhan's turning in. He hasn't quite pulled a crazy Ivan, but he's come close. And now he has pulled a crazy Ivan, and he's caught me. Right, graph's backing up. Smart move in a battleship. Less smart... Oh no, it's locked onto the shores, damn it. Okay, well that isn't going to work, is it? Fine. Guns on. Target the Mayhan. He's out of range. Right. Okay. New plan. All stop. Back up a little. We're going to let Graf turn in, because... Nope, he's turned too far. In fact, he's boxing clever. And there's something else here that's got spotting range, because that Mayhan's not got the distance. So what on earth is lurking? There shouldn't be anything here that can see me. Oh, this island isn't blocking line of sight, is it? Not quite enough. Fine, slip away. Change of plan, we're going for the Koenig. Yeah, entire enemy team within 5 kilometers. Yeah, that kind of thing happens. We've got aircraft spotting to worry about. Koenig has turned in, but if I break cover at the right moment... Salvo lined up. Launch 1, launch 2, launch 3. And then break away. The Koenig either turns now, or he won't be able to turn to all. The island will be in the way, so... Open the distance, turn away. Most of the shores' armor-piercing hits the water. Most of the Koenig's armor-piercing bounces off the Bayern. And, oh, looky. Well, he's remembered his rudder, but it's a... no, he got there just in time. Took one. The Mayhan is just about dead, thankfully. Okay, right, at least now I can get a little more aggressive. I don't have to worry about running into an enemy destroyer. Just the boatload of enemy aircraft that are coming this way. Oh, God, that's not actually an improvement, is it? Okay, right. Enemy air hitting the Bayern, that's something. Problem is also detecting me in the process. I need to slip inside those torpedoes. Bombers do their stuff, come down. Again, run away. Luckily the carrier is not loitering his aircraft. There's the graph. Okay, launch 1. Anticipate the acceleration, launch 2, launch 3. And then... put that fire out. Okay, yeah, he's gonna eat enough. There we are. That's good night to the Graf Spee.
Enemy cruisers sunk.
Fine, one less to think about. Clear out of range. We've lost the Bayern. Not a lot we can do about that. He was somewhat overextended, but with the enemy aircraft being chased off by the fighters, we've now got the margin we need to go for this shores. If I'm careful. Of course, we've also got the cyclone, which is going to force the battle into much closer ranges. So, lock onto shores. Island's blocking my shot at the moment, but that gives me an opportunity in a second. Because, of course, I can use this. Fire 1, fire 2, fire 3. And then just slip away. He's going to slip behind the island for cover. That will block his line of sight on the torpedoes. So if I have timed this right, he's going to clear behind the island and then he's going to come back out the other side just in time to get a face full of fish. That assumes, of course, that I timed it right and he didn't just slow down a little. And oh, hello, cutie!
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Yeah. Right. Who's next? Enemy carriers over there. We've got... Oh, right. We've got that cluster of enemies down to the southwest. Let's go deal with them. Plug the engine boost in because we need to relocate at speed. And I don't think our allies over there are going to last long enough to hold them off. Lock weapons port side. Prep for battle. Stand on the gas. Absolutely, it's a me, Type 92. Yeah, that was an absolutely classic use and abuse of the islands in a torpedo boat. Unfortunately, things are getting a smidge dicey over here. We've just lost the Koenig. The Kiev is doing what he can, but, well, he's kind of brutally outgunned. And, well, he's got the speed, but he hasn't got the health at all, has he? Right, and now it's cyclone time, so we're going to have to be a little careful as to how we do this. The moment we drop into this cap circle, of course, we are blocking the cap, but we're also advertising our presence. So, lock on to Arizona. Launch 1, launch 2, launch 3. Let's see if these people have heard of their rudders. Or if they're paranoid enough to realise that if they're being spotted in a cyclone and they can't see it, it's got to be the Kaze. Oop, smoke up. Let's just tiptoe away. Unfortunately, that does mean we don't get to watch the glory of the torpedo strikes coming in. But from the way they were manoeuvring... Oh. I have a feeling, yep, the entire salvo's missed. Fine. We're just going to have to resort to guns instead. How uncivilized. Ooh. Especially if I first run myself aground and then forget that I have my guns locked the other way. Luckily, they all missed. Oh god. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. That's how fast it can go wrong if you make a mistake in a destroyer, ladies and gentlemen. I was doing so well up until then. And I think that one little screw up on my part may have thrown the game away because, well, it comes down to the Budioni. Who's got to close up on battleships in a cyclone? Yeah, this is not going to end at all well, is it? Oh dear. That's an embarrassing way to lose a game. Overcook the turn and just balls it up completely. Ugh. Thoroughly disgusted with myself for that. I was playing such a good game as well. And for those of you who say that concealment expert doesn't make a difference on the Kazes, oh, trust me, that 600 meters does. I would have gotten away with that had I been in a concealment experted Kaze. I could have just slipped down the side of the cap circle and probably set up for a second torpedo shot. But it was not to be, and then I stuffed up my helm work, didn't I? Not a good example of destroyer handling, but then that's not what you came here to watch, was it? So, what do we get? 2 wins and a defeat. Managed to bag in a container. Let's just pop the box. Let's see it. Come on, what's in the box? What's in the box? Let's try our luck. What's in the box? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Come on, gimme. Gimme, gimme. Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought I did tell it to open the box, but come on, show. Okay, 5 November Echo set 7s. I mean, not really. That's a bit of a bad joke when your principal ship in this one is, well, it's the tier 5. Yeah, quite. So, turn in that one. Quickly grab that. Task 3 it needs to be a cruiser, so we'll just cancel that. And set up for later work. So that one doesn't count. Destroy with ship to whiz has to be a cruiser. Damn it. 10 times per second battery guns. 30,000 gun damage. Destroy one enemy ship with torpedoes. We'll have you. And also Dreadnought. No, that doesn't count. 100 main battery or sentry hits. And a cat ribbon will snag that as well. Won't quite get me to the final task, but don't really care at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been useful. That has been a masterclass in how not to handle a kamikaze and how rapidly one mistake can cause you to get completely messed up. But until next time, farewell.